Alright, let's see. Oh, okay, that's great, again. It's about to be 5:08. So. But, let's see. Yeah, it's about to be 5:08 seconds. Yeah. Oh, great. Okay, what are you doing? What are you up to? Okay. Snoop. The game's not done this before. Okay. Oh shoot, wait, capture cursor's on. See what I make it do. Okay, that's a bit awkward. Alright. Hold on, I'm going to quickly turn off capture cursor. I swear to God. Why is capture cursor on? Of all things, I didn't want on. Capture cursor had to be on. Oh, that is present. There you go, it's no longer capturing cursor. Wow. Annoying. But yeah. I'm gonna be trying out that new content thing in the Stanley Parable. I happened to take a look over at the Steam achievements while I was booting up Stanley Parable. And some of them are pretty funny actually in retrospect. Or not just in retrospect, some of them are actually just kind of a riot. But you know. Let's just, I'm just not gonna bother trying to explain what this game is. I streamed it last time, we did all the main content, so let's do the new content. And we're just gonna get into the, oh god, wow, I completely forgotten, this game does have a fairly high mouse sensitivity, and also a lot of screen tearing. I didn't even find a way to turn off. Did I even turn it off? Yeah, I'm actually gonna... I forgot to turn that on. Yeah. Swear to God, I turned off... Yeah, I turned off the VSync. I don't know why it's screen tearing so much. Whatever, I'll just have to handle it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But yeah, there's a door called New Content. Right here. So, yeah.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
It could mean anything, really. You know? Why does this give me FNAF Help Wanted vibes?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Oh yeah, that's right, this game was.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
was gonna say, this...
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I was gonna say, yeah, this game was released on consoles. The original wasn't. It was interesting.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Yeah, me too. If this elevator would start.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we...
Oh, I should have checked
Should
there.
we be moving somewhere or...
Damn it, I should have checked
There we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. What kind of new content awaits us in the new content?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Literally, we've only been in this elevator for a few seconds. Ooh, what's
All right.
this?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Press space to jump. That is a very stiff jump as well.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I assume that there's something for doing all the jumps in the jump circle. And you can't even jump when you're outside of it. That's an interesting choice.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Ooh, what could it be? It's a whiteboard.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Oh, that's definitely...
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I was gonna say that aged, like, I don't know how else to describe it. It aged, you know? My room's changed. No, my room's different. Yeah, okay, we have the I hate... My god. I even like how this one is written in the Garfield font. I can't even remember what it's called. Also, why is this so different? I wish I could go back there.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Hold on. Yeah, okay, that looks like it goes back to the normal content. We're going through the Half-Life vents then.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Ooh, very regal already. Just Well, except for the printer. I really like how we have all this ancient structure, and then we just have a bunch of modern objects like boxes and printers.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yeah. Okay. This is wild. Yeah. Yeah, I never played the original.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah. Memory, sweet memory. This is a door that I can't open. Is that literally the same picture as what I saw earlier? I like how the clock says 2013 here as well. Wow, 2013, that's a lot. That was like 10 years ago. Was this really a box that it came in? That would be interesting. If it was, you know? And I have a feeling some of this isn't even real, either. But I have a feeling that this was actually a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it won a 2014 Independent Games Festival Award. I mean, a lot of games have. British Academy of Film and Television Arts, they like put tape over here saying Stanley Parable, and underneath you could see The Last of Us. I mean, to be fair, The Last of Us has launched on HBO. It's actually a pretty good show, admittedly. Good times. Yeah, some of this was good times. And then some of it was the yellow line. The original remake. Right, yeah, that's right, because it was actually a mod for Half-Life initially as well. Huh. Like, of all the things that they could have placed here, just a dollar bill. Huh. Smile because it happened. Yeah. Don't be sad that it's over, be happy that you got to experience it, right? It's impossible to get this achievement. What is the requirement for the test achievement, then? Don't play for 5 years. Oh god. They doubled that in this version. It's 10 years instead. Fuck. I wish I could read this. It's all blotted out, though. Let's see, when was this released? Thursday, October 17th, 2013. I might be willing to fact check that one day. Yeah, I just gotta remember it. Yeah. This one was nominated. Interesting. How much of this is actually true, and... It says Friday, June 7th, 2013. Well, that's a lot of things I'm gonna look into, potentially. I wish I could zoom in on that small text above beta and work in progress. Huh. Yeah. Loving memory, livings... Sorry, not... My language is fucking broken. In loving memory, little Stanley. Right. Right, okay, I guess, yeah. Well, that's... Oh god, copyright infringement. Fuck!
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art,
the
Stanley
fuck?
Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
It wasn't even an hour, it was a few seconds of elevator content. But also, was this actually written by James Sterling? Or is it... I don't know. I can't find the author on this page either. Seems like... I haven't really been to Destructoid for a while. IGF 2013 Grand Prize, Honorable Mention. Yeah. Mystic Arcade 2013 Official Selection. Winner of an Indiecade 2012 Special Recognition. How much of this, like, any of you guys who are more experienced in this, how much of these is actually real? Like, because I would love to know, really. Memory zone maintenance. Yeah, I can still click on the buttons at least. Yeah, this is the original menu. They didn't really change it that much in the Ultra Deluxe version. Huh. There it is, the first choice, or at least first major choice. Top 10 memories from the Stanley Parable 2013. I remember. Wow. I'm getting King Pixels vibes from that. What was that woman's name again? I swear I remember her from, like, the last time I did it. They blurred out Stanley as well, even though you can see his model a fair amount of times. Oh, and there it is, like, yeah, that's right, this is the map editor for the Source Engine, I think. What was it called again? I swear. Whatever. It's really cool, I guess. We're Scott K. Alright. You know, that would be really funny if it actually came with a tie. That would, like, wow. The end is never the end. Wow. Wow, thanks for the motivational message. Huh. Literally anything. Wow. Thank you.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Right, and this was written by, okay, Carolyn Petit. I think I butchered that pronunciation. Sorry if you're watching that, by the way. Huh. I wonder if they somehow managed to block out that, because it looks like there was a point there. Huh. There it is, the source SDK. Now, move objects, create levels, graphics, upgrade. Yeah, okay, so it is the source SDK that allowed them to create levels in the source engine. Where was there a happy button like that? Your number is 29. Huh. Serious Room 2013. How the hell was I supposed to access the Serious Room? I wonder if that was something I was missing. I don't know.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Oh, the door's open now.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
I'm curious as well. $1.25 cold drinks. Huh.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I really like how it's just darker now. Like, this is about to be the dark side of your memories. And it's a not recommended review!
Honestly, I could not be bothered.
Oh
to play
God, I'm
this
gonna
game to
censor
full
that
completion.
name.
The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh dear. Well, that's just sort of how it is, like, even when people really like your game, there's still gonna be the handful that really don't like it. It's just the nature of it, I mean, I personally had to handle with negativity on the internet. It's just how it is. Like, just because people like it doesn't mean that everyone's gonna like it. That's just how, I mean, you just sort of gotta get used to it. A lot of these reviews also are very blurry and I can't read them. Oh God, another one I have to censor.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Is my microphone picking up the computer fan? I hope it's not. Excuse me. Yeah, that's just how it is. Like I said, there are people who are just gonna trash on your work. Yeah, I mean, this is something that's the norm, and the best thing to do is just focus on the majority opinion.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever had a moment where I actually had to stop. I just simply stopped for the enjoyment. Oh. Oh, it just faded.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an
Okay, I'll pretend then.
monologue. Oh, you're back, you see.
There we go.
You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more...
Okay.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
But that's the power
Also,
of the
sorry
button.
about that mouse
The
flick.
minute
I had my hand off the mouse
self-absorption,
temporarily and I had
it's
to
right
grab
at
it.
your fingertips to go poof. It's
sometimes
all
that
over.
happens.
Oh, I can't wait to see what cooking knife.
I need to sense. I need to figure out how I can.
I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again.
Press it.
Stanley, please don't push the button again.
God.
It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there.
We're 12 hours?
I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone.
Wait,
it's
what?
completely gone.
No.
I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here.
Maybe the
And
door
more
will
than
appear if I
anything
skip
else,
again.
I don't know. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Damn it, it's
You're
not
back.
here.
Oh my goodness.
And the
I have
lights are
someone
going
to
out.
talk to again.
Huh.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button.
And I don't want to hear right now.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
God
Have you
damn.
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
No.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
I don't want to hear that right now. Please. I don't need to hear more venting after what I've experienced. Nothing? Oh, Jesus Christ, that's annoying. Christ! Get it out! Get it out!
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough.
Please no. I don't want to hear that. Please. I get it. You're angry about it. But like, Jesus Christ, that's just the way of the world. People are just gonna be that way, and the best course of action is take the majority opinion.
The end is never the end, 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 is never
Wow,
the
they were
end,
really
is never
right
the end,
on the
is never
definition
the
of
end, is never the
insanity.
end, is-
It's leaking. Leaking. Like a vegetable. Is that a tornado happening outside, or is that just a really strong gust of wind? Or a hurricane? Because I have no idea what would be making this loud of a wind noise. Ow. My eyes. They hurt, see. Wow, Portal 2 much? Seriously, this does feel like Portal 2. Like, eventually everything just becomes naturally maintained, rather than physically maintained. Is there a sensible way of describing it? Wow, the distant future really is terrifying. I can't even use the button anymore? Unless I sit here for long enough, I guess. But first of all, space to explore! It is bright as hell! Wow. Wow, this is just a sick reminder that I need to play Journey soon. Yeah, if you don't know, I have not played Journey yet. I'd be willing to play it eventually in my free time, because I really heard good things about it. Wow. Such a beautiful expanse of nothing. It's everything I wanted. Just a space to explore. And now they took it away from me. Well, god damn it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really
I already
just doing
got
this
the
for
achievement. I'm just messing with
Click
you.
a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
Yeah,
Now
new
suppose
content.
you were to click the door. Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, I can't go past there. Yeah, I saw the new content sign. Sorta. I was just waiting for you to not talk about clicking a door again. Alright. We passed through the new content door. Dorinos.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, God. A second Stanley Parable.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel.
Oh,
An
God.
entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I like how it's... yeah, you are, like, I am employee 427. That is so fucking clever. Alright. Ooh. A discount Macintosh. Testing 2 printers at the same time. That doesn't sound like a good idea. 1 printer is enough. Why do we need 2?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? but the Stanley Parable 2. Now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Oh god, I am not very good at other languages, but I can probably pronounce this one, Zwei. Sorry if you guys are actually getting an aneurysm just by hearing me saying Zwei, like the way I do. Taste the sequel! You can definitely taste the number 2 there! Okay. Alright, oh god, this is a bit weird. Hold on, there we go. Photos of painting K.TGA. Oh, office painting K. Okay, yeah, that's confusing. Yeah. Okay, what's this? Office painting D.TGA. Those should be PNGs or JPEGs, I think. Just the two of us. No, I'm not talking about that game again, please. Thank you. Building castles in the sky. God damn it. As well. Also, what's this? New mug. Time to wake up. Oh god, what does that other mug say? I wish I could read it. God, please, let me read that other mug. I was so close. Alright, well, whatever. I don't think that means anything. Damn you! You shut the doors! They're back. 2 doors. New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted? New. Hotness. Who read section of the chart? Yeah, okay. There's a lot of 2 I see here. I thought this was the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Don't talk to me before I've had my sequel. Oh, it's don't talk to me before I've had my sequel. I said that in the worst possible way possible. More of the Stanley Parable 2. Better Stanley Parable. It's a win-win. No way. Paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar. Yeah. The color red. Wow, this game really loves the color red over the color yellow. Leverage, holistic value. Okay. Stanley Parable 2 logo ideas. I will say the first one's perfectly fine, but I do like this one on slide 5. It sort of reminds me of how Resident Evil did their whole sequel thing, where with Resident Evil 7 they cleverly had it formatted to look like I don't know how to put it really, but it was very clever of them. Alright. I do like Logo 5 the most of all of them. Stanley Parable 2. Oh! Oh, he wasn't kidding. That fern was important. God damn it. Huh. That's terrifying. Alright.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the marker? Me. Alright. Yeah, let's see though. Got a lot of 2s. The prequel to the Stanley Parable. 2 is the sequel to the Stanley Parable. Is the... Wow, that is just insane. Oh wow, okay. That's really good. That's really good. I thought that was an apple for a second, but it's not. Sequels are good. I'm not gonna lie when I say that I recognize some of them. I played Portal 2, which was pretty good. Half-Life 2, that was really good. I've not played any of the Batman Arkham Asylum games, or Divinity. I do have experience with Doom 2, though. I didn't really think that was the best sequel. I thought that Doom 1 was better, but Doom 2 had some good additions, I guess. Never played Aladdin 2. Dark Souls 2, though. Wow. How many internet arguments is this gonna spark now? This way to the show floor. Ooh. Oh, damn it, I can't go this way. There's a physical object in my way in the form of these weak-ass things that you see only in movie theaters. New features? Better be 2 new features. New content. A bus? Okay. It's a lot of things to look forward to. Far... Oh. Oh, okay. Sure. Wow.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Ooh, new features. Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. How is it going to pronounce that rando named Randy? Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Wow. Okay, that button looks like... If you elongated that button a little bit, it would look like an Atari controller. You know? I actually held one of those back when I was in Washington State. It's fine. Here, yours today. Everyone's got one. Yeah, that's true. I've got a name as well. I just never really talk about my real name. The button that says the name of the player playing the game. Try it here.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
My God.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Wow.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much. Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Alright. Stop me. Stop me from being Jim. Yeah. I wonder how many times until the narrator speaks again. I think that's enough Jim for now. I was hoping I would get more narration from that. Wow. Alright then, what are the other features? What other features do you have?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Merch? Oh fuck. Okay, what's messaging me now this time? Okay, it was just somebody from a ward. Merch? Hold on a second. Does this QR code actually work? It does. It takes me to a website called the StanleyBearable2.com. Wow. It even has a link to other socials as well. Let's see, it says, a sequel, huh? Watch our helpful and informative video to learn more about the Stanley Parable and what the journey of becoming a sequel is all about. It actually is a video as well. It's also unlisted. Alright, I'm actually gonna comment on that video one day. This reminds me of things that I'll probably eventually do. That's new. If you're more of a prequel sort of person, check out the Stanley Parable. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the exhibit. Thanks, then. Taste the sequel. Now in Expo Hall to learn more. Alright, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, mate. I gotta say, it's a bit overwhelming what one QR code could do. And then that's just the most, There's even a thing about a bucket as well. Where's your insurance bucket? Please, no screenshots. Try and stop me.
I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday, Stepniece, or Get Well Someday. This would have been perfect to play on July 30th, but I did a Hollow Knight randomizer instead. So, Get Well Someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday,
for art's
Stepniece,
sake.
it is.
Well, that's just wonderful. Oh, God, these things changed.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come on. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Yeah, I have made the mistake of trusting that it would actually be a choice. Hey, the jump circle.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Free, new, plus easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement, no more steps. It just works. All of this just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
Let's
it's
see.
As simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
God, every time I think of the word gamer, I think about how ChatGPT is saying gamer makes it sound like an NPC. And yeah, I actually did use ChatGPT a bit here and there.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
But like, you know, there's a class that I'm taking that's gonna require us to look into generative AIs and stuff. Collectibles, free achievement, infinite hole? A hole that's infinite? Ooh, sounds intriguing. I wonder how it works. Is it gonna be like one of those weird Flappy Bird style holes where it's only the hole that's moving and not you? It just keeps going from here. So many layers as well. I failed my geography class over and over. I'm not bothering with that. Opening, rim, surrounding area, depth is infinite. Like
Stanley,
truly infinite,
here's an
or
idea
like...
that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right, infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Huh. Alright. We'll see about that. Infinite hole, here we go! Oh.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Press G to return to the surface. I just want to see if it's truly
now,
infinite.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No, I want to see if this hole is infinite, though.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's
Oh, wait, let's do it.
Hey, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Yeah, okay.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
I mean,
If that
it's...
works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I was gonna say, like, you know, I mean, to be fair, this hole is as close to infinity as that Google to 1 reduction machine that someone created. That video still haunts me, by the way. Meeting at 2 p.m. Sincerely, management. Huh. Okay, I think that I should return to the surface.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
The hole's still here, though. Cowabunga!
You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Oh, that was faster.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Okay, I'll eventually return to the surface. Seems like it's mostly not changed though. They dropped a bunch of cigarettes in here.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
And I haven't had enough holes for a lifetime, so... In we go!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow.
It is shorter.
Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Alright.
Well, there it is. The shame of my life. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Aggressive divot, my beloved.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Alright. Yeah, this is my lovely divot. I wonder if it gets even less of a divot. Maybe it'll become, what's the opposite of a concavity? A convexity. Alright, whatever. Wait, what?
Is the, teleport button
It's
not
not working.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there's
not
one
working.
thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
Take care.
You and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Ah, yes, I get to have an eternity with my little hole. It's a whole lot of fun. God, I really need to come up with a bunch of hole jokes while we... What's that noise? Well, whatever. I mean... Alright, let me look up a bunch of hole jokes. Pretty sure it can't be any more wholesome than what we have here. Oh. Oh, okay. We're really doing this. We're really doing this, aren't we? This is just the brink of... What is this? What even is this? I swear this video is so in trouble. Press F to change your perspective. Ooh. We got up close and personal to Stanley. G to change your perception. That's good music, admittedly. It sounds like something from Tetris Effect. I'm not gonna complain, that's a really good game. Ow! More Tetris Effect sounding music. Yo! Jada, change yourself. I like this one. Oh, the default error sign in the source engine. I do like this one. Stock video of dogs. This is starting to look a lot like a hitbox only playthrough.
Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
I mean this when I say this wholeheartedly. You might have destroyed this moment for me. Oh god, is it starting again? Oh. It just... It booted me out of the hole. Well, that was a whole lot of fun, wasn't it?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Yeah, okay. Is it just gonna repeat the gym button joke? Because I would love to repeat the gym button joke.
Gym.
Nothing? Okay. Alright, so, yeah, that was... I mean... I don't know. I'm wholly disappointed in you, narrator. I wanted that infinite hole for much longer. Can I go back? Fine, it ended. Mostly infinite hole. I like that. Alright, let's see. Time, depth, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of complicated stuff. You shut off access to the infinite hole? Oh, you're aggressive, aren't you? Well, I can't really get the achievement yet. Let's see, what about this reassurance bucket that I've been seeing a whole lot of? Hold on, how am I gonna... That's new. Hold on, I want to go ahead and try out the bucket. I mean, the bucket sounds like a bucket load of fun, doesn't it? God, my jokes are terrible. Let's see.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
No
You see,
way!
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes.
Yeah.
The bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
I would love to do a bucket joke, but you know, like the "this is a bucket" joke, you know what it is? Dear God!
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I wish I could have gone down the hole with this bucket. That would have been funny.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
To be honest, there's a bucket load of jokes I can make with this thing. I'm not gonna say most of them. Collect them all. What is this, Pokemon?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
That is a very depressing looking Stanley. 1 out of 6. Alright, must be 6 in this office.
It really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
What a tragedy. If only collecting 4 arcane eggs meant anything. There must be 6 collectibles in the museum, then. I have a feeling that this is not one of them, though. Unless I could somehow... cheese it. I don't know. Oh. Nothing left? Nothing gained, nothing earned? Wow. That's depressing. There might be more that I'm looking for. I would like to test something later with the jump circle. That door's locked. Let's see, jump circle. This map, free achievement, buttons. Settings World Champion. I'm right here. Office decorations, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole, exit. I want to see what this settings world record thing is all about. Please no screenshots. Red is the new orange. The baby's all grown up. That is cursed. What the fuck is that noise?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Why not get it at the end of the main ending? I don't know. Makes sense, doesn't it? So, what is that noise all about? Settings World Champion, though. Oh, come on. What's this? What's this door? Settings World Champion. Wait, there was an achievement called that. Hold on. damn it, hold on. The achievement was, set all the sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. Well, fuck's sake. You know what that means, fellas. Alright, yeah. Subtitle background opacity. Yeah. Probably the most ridiculous one. Main volume.
This is the story of a man.
God, I don't want to get copyright claimed for that again. That would be just annoying. Alright, yeah. It's set to set the sliders on the settings to all the available numbers. Hold on. All available numbers. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so the field of view can be set to 50. Uh-huh. I have a feeling that this is probably the most tedious thing you can be watching. But you know what? It's for the achievement. I'm gonna set it back to 80. 80 was perfect. Oh, I found a secret one. Very clever game. Very goddamn clever. Oh hey, then there we go. Oh, there we go.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement.
Yes!
You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest of the details out later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh, bumpscosity. Wait, did you just add it in? Where is bumpscosity? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna have to turn that on. Reticles type is it? Wow, there's a lot of them. I do. You can just send it to a Windows. That's funny. Where would bumpscosity? It literally does nothing. Great. Literally bumpscosity, it's doing nothing. From what I gather. That's actually kind of funny, to be honest. The fact that it does nothing. Can't say I'm disappointed, but I am. Alright, let's see. What's his name? Merchant. Yeah, 5 though is this map. Oh, absolutely funny. Alright, I want to test something though. If I still have jumps remaining. Begin the game again. Oh my god, it actually worked. I didn't think of anything potentially
All of his
working.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wanted to test that for a while, but you know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Yeah,
Stanley
okay.
knew it perfectly well.
I wanted to
Perhaps
test
he
this.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
I-
just to admire it.
Now it's time.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Alright.
But eager to
Now
get
I can
back to
access that
business,
vent.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright, now I can check that vent out. It's something I've
Stanley
been
was so
wondering
bad at
about.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
Wait.
That it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten
What's that light over
that it
there?
seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path.
What's that light
that
over
it seemed the
there,
office had
then?
begun. So far off the beaten path. That it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through,
Okay,
and
what's
it all
this?
turns out I'm just a tape recording. It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist
Praise
you
the
think is
jumping.
revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I like that Easter egg. Oh my god, that is actually really good, though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wow. Okay, good job, game. You really got me.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, can I jump over these boxes, though? I cannot jump over these boxes. What else can I jump on, then? Oh. Well, that's definitely doesn't seem intentional. Right, yeah, that's just a consequence of having a jump button now. You know, that would be really funny if there was... Yeah, I already got that ending, by the way. You guys already... I'm pretty sure all of you saw it already. Hey. Alright, then.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley
Alright, let's
parable
just
was
continue
abandoned,
on to the
and
exit.
any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
I will say though
Yes,
that
you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
yeah, I tried out most of the new features already, including that really annoying sound effect.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
You know what else I would like to hang on to? A bucket. It's like my last wish in life. I want the bucket. I think it did restart most of my progress, though.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Alright.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they?
Yeah,
All
I
this
think
and
there's
more
just a
await
consequence
you
of
in the
me running
Stanley
this
Parable
higher
2.
frame rate. I don't know.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Right, yeah, when I turn this into a series, I'm probably going to skip out most of the repeat stuff that I just did.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here,
yeah.
let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time.
It's
If this were
even
the
funnier
only new
the
feature in the Stanley
27th
Parable
time.
2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
I'm not.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Alright. Well, Let's just move on now. I think we'll have to go through the whole thing again before I can exit. Pretty sure
I
there's a
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, wait. Now I can go through the infinite hole. I still have bumpscosity.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting.
I didn't
traveled
actually.
to
I
all
found only
corners of the
flat axis
settings
slider.
menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting. Something called bumpscosity.
Does anyone even know what
What
bumpscosity
exactly
actually
is
does?
bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be... Stanley, here's an
Right.
idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A
Holes,
stunning
my
leap forward
beloved.
for video games as a medium.
You know what my favorite story is? Holes.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Wonder what it looks like when Stanley's holding the bucket.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Concavity.
Okay, well,
Right.
good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Yeah.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Fascination with holes.
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough?
All right.
I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
I'll never have enough of this hole. It's a whole lot of fun.
Gosh, how could I have guessed?
And I have a
You're back
reassurance
in the
bucket.
hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Yeah, I want to
Well,
see
there it
everything.
is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation.
Oh,
It was
fuck.
working just
Yeah,
a moment
the
ago.
music's playing
Try it
outside again.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for
God.
everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take
Yeah.
care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Yeah, so if you hear any music playing in my microphone, it's because there is an event happening outside where, yeah, they are playing music. A bit, no? It's kind of funny now, looking past that. Back to the wondrous hole of delights. I do like these delights that the hole can provide. The bucket's right next to him. That is a horrifying one. It's probably gonna loop at some point. I do like this one, it's wondrous. And then this one is just gradient blue. Huh. Some of these actually are pretty bright, honestly. Yeah, it is looping now.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
Alright, anyways, we're
because
gonna
this
try to
hole
get
is
back
just
to where we
so
were.
darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Alright, yeah, it's gonna take some time before it loads. Alright.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
So yeah, they no longer have an infinite hole. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. Yeah. Whole new office. That is a very interesting carpet design, but then again, I've seen hotel carpets before. The new updated ray traced more of the same, but in a good way sequel to the Stanley Parable. Interesting choice of words. New features, new content, new ideas. Huh. Like a whole set of boxes? Okay. Lots of new. Imagine calling this new Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration,
Alright.
like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
There we go. Now I no longer have to be reminded that it's actually not July 30th.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
The whole "it just works" thing, though, that's still funny to
Now
me.
here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yeah, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at
There's nothing
last
here.
satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you. And what else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Yeah? Out of order, you've been here already. Thank Christ I don't need to go through the collectibles thing all over again. Yeah, I think I've basically done everything.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Yeah, I have a feeling that
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I have a feeling that Ultra Deluxe is a satire on how AAAs will usually have these really dumb subtitles. Or,
So, Stanley,
Deluxe
what do you
editions?
think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
yeah, that does look... Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go.
It's like a
Version
randomizer.
2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do
What's
very
that?
much enjoy
Oh,
creating
it's just the
gags,
jumps
but they don't
remaining.
add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
Ooh.
A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something
Is
up.
this like critiquing...
Perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Is this critiquing sequels that don't even change a damn thing? Oh my god. What is this title screen? Very new, I gotta say. Well, I'm going to change it to like first-person shooter. It's a very interesting title screen. I wonder if it's a pre-rendered video and not like being run in engine. Or at least in real time, because that would very much be the most convenient and most friendly way of doing it. Well, let's begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company
They
in a
added the
building where
balloons.
he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long
Is there gonna
to
be any
push
other
them,
differences
and
in
what
this?
order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I would like to see if
And then
there's
one
any
day, something
like,
very
difference.
peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yeah, okay.
All of his
Where's the
coworkers
bucket?
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. There's the bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
There's the bucket! I wonder if there's a bucket version of every ending. I would love to know if there's a bucket version of every ending there, game.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
And there we go.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger. Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself.
Oh.
Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley. What are you talking about? He screamed. You're a bucket! To this, the bucket furrowed its brow. "No," said the bucket. "Not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of..." "No!" Stanley screamed even louder this time. "This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we doing this?" As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it! You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Damn it. That is so good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Right, the input received thing, it's still there at least. Alright, now, how different is every ending gonna
Stanley clutched
be?
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, how different is every ending gonna be with a bucket? Now, the possibilities are endless.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Alright. Yeah, most of this is pretty much the same, it seems. But now I have a bucket.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Alright, then. That is... okay. That isn't really... okay, yeah. Man.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled.
Yes!
No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Ooh.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Yeah, there really is, isn't there?
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
I wonder how much more time eventually before he comes back to it, you know? Is that a radioactive symbol? Huh. Alright. How much time until he eventually decides to talk again? I guess he doesn't want to talk.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright, let's go into the executive bathroom.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
This is going to be a very extensive collectathon. To be rich is that a crime to commit crimes. Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. That's not what it said originally. Alright, yeah, that's interesting. Ooh, new room. Oh wait, never mind. This is a room that I've been in already. Oh god, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get copyright claimed again. Excuse me. I think the narrator is singing it along as well. Alright. Alright, now let's go ahead.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I'm gonna keep on doing this.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Oh, I know that it's 2845. I'm just doing this to see if there's anything.
2845.
Let's see if there's any unique dialogue for doing this.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, yeah, that is actually funny. Wow. Rubbleless player. Oh!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, yeah, 6 of them to find. That's gonna be a lot of time being spent just searching for Stanlerines. Stanlerines. Wow, I can't even say words.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Alright.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Alright. Let's just get the normal ending like I usually do.
On an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay, yeah, I can't seem to do anything with that. Wow. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I was hoping I could do that.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Oh dear.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yeah, I could do a ton of analyses on what even any of this could mean.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Yeah. You and me and you. What are we going to do?
Stanley and the bucket.
Oh yeah, I should still get all the endings and post
Was it over?
to the channel.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Jesus.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Oh, jeez.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
What?
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, or go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
That is... Okay, that was not what I was expecting.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Alright, all the computers. Let's see. Any of them say awaiting input? What's the heaven ending like with the bucket? Nothing?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click
now
the door.
Let's go
Stanley
right.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yes, it is.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Alright, now, hold on. What kind of dialogue can he cook up for a bucket in a meeting room?
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Huh. I wonder how much time in the recording studio this must have been.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection. But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business. No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Ooh, a ramp. And a figurine to grab. Oh, I better not fall off.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I need to find them all. That's a really interesting way to design your a secret hunt, though. Nothing here. Alright, nothing. Ooh.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down, it doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket.
Jesus.
This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Caporata.
God damn. God damn, that is dark.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
That's creepy. Not gonna lie.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
If it's on my boss's computer again, I swear to God.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I won't.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Jesus.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
No, I won't.
Stanley chose not to think about this, but Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay, that's pretty good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I have a feeling that at any point something would be walking by.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
Yeah, okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
I wonder where
And
this
here it was.
book
Had the
it's gonna
bucket
say.
turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
Let's go
there.
this way.
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Let's not do that then.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly. Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
No, thank you.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's
Yeah, I
funny,
get the
Stanley.
joke.
A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Wait, what?
It's sitting right
Is it
here.
gonna be different?
Let's take a look.
Let's see, what's the difference with this one?
What is comedic? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
No.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh,
Oh, that is
in all
off-putting.
likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny? What is this?
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times. Just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invaders who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Okay. Good one.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Alright, let's head back then. Alright, show me the funny, Gabe. Give me the funnies.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now.
I like how the video...
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I like how the comedic timing video had nothing to do with comedic timing at all. It was just random blurbs. Properly handling comedy. Comedy with a K, mind you.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Let's do the one on the right again.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors.
Okay.
What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Okay.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh, please don't play
Here
it
we
again.
go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Let's see, is there gonna be any difference?
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Okay, thankfully I can
Here
just...
we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Let me try that again, Stanley. I know that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm just I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
Alright, that's a nice variation of it, I suppose.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
Alright,
to
this
his
time we'll
chest
answer the
and
phone.
entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Alright.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
Penalty.
lift, yes.
I just
Go
realized
there.
this.
Go to the cargo lift.
Penalty for misuse of cargo lift is $1,000, and for jumping off the cargo lift is $5,000. I never even noticed that.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Let's do what the bucket asks this time.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Alright.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
This is another companion cube situation, ain't it? Ooh. Bucket. Press I to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Take me back home. Take me home. There we go.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press P for us to go back home. You can say you can P. You can say you can piss off. Wow. My jokes never land.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Anyone in your life except me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Finally something we can agree upon.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Relive the same day with me over and over. Alright.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Go home to work to home to work to home to work to home to work to home to work. G. Howdy.
I'm having feelings for the bucket.
Oh.
No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
0013.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Oof. Okay, unique changes. Alright, I want to see all of them.
His co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfect. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Now let's fall off the cargo lift and into a different place.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
You know, the
No,
catwalk.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
3,
It
2,
should have alarmed
1.
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I didn't there, mate. Didn't do that.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says,
No
buckets
buckets.
past this point.
No.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
What?
Please, step in here for a moment.
What? Oh,
Now then,
God.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Oh,
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
this is a bucket.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Now,
Correct.
what?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
No way. I guessed that correctly by complete accident.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Is he pulling a fast one on me? This is not a bucket.
Correct. It is a 3D
No.
recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
How am I guessing correctly both times?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
This is a bucket. No!
This is a bucket.
No, how is he tricking me into guessing correctly?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
This is definitely a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This
Yes.
is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Oh yeah, let's move on to the next one. It's definitely gonna be a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
Yes, it is. No!
This is a bucket.
How? Okay, he's tricking me somehow.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
It's not.
Trick question. Both.
Oh. Trick questions galore.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
How can I guess incorrectly all the time? Ooh.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Nothing and everything is a bucket.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
A bucket full of knowledge, that's
Stanley,
what you
I
are.
can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go.
No! I want to keep my bucket.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything was a
Every single thing in the game
bucket.
was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything. We'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Oh no.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Alright, then how many more endings after that? There's a confusion ending with a bucket. There's...
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
How about this? Wait, hold on. The door's still open.
A good bucket. A strong bucket. A humble bucket. A committed bucket. A bucket of culture and distinction.
Here.
As soon as Stanley noticed that the door to his office was still open, he rushed in with his bucket and shut the door. The pressure of going out and finding another bucket variant on one of the Stanley Parable's classic endings was simply too much for him. It's nothing but swapped-out dialogue describing a bucket, he screamed to himself. It's not nearly different enough to be considered a true sequel. No, he would stay right here in his office where things were safe, familiar. If others were happy with the bucket endings, well, good for them. But Stanley knew that one day, somehow, a true sequel would emerge with actual new content. If only he had waited long enough.
I
Just a
love
little
these
longer,
bucket
Stanley.
variants.
Keep waiting. You'll get it one day, surely.
There are a bunch of bucket
Eventually.
jokes.
Just keep waiting. Just a little longer now.
Like, most of these are total conversions of the endings.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder what happened to most of the new content that he created, though. I want to find all the new
The
content.
embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Where's all the new content, though? I want the new content.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, okay, this time we're gonna go for the escape ending with the bucket. How can we find them? Ooh! Bottom text. There'll be a reward. There will be a reward for finding them. Solve finding objects in pure custom. Synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There was no memo from management until you spotted one. Makes them flood them near. Who took pictures of these? Ooh. So the kind of color cues provided by employee 416. We can do it. Red room. Ooh. Ooh. Secrets. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. And somewhere both red and blue. Look. Right. Right. I found 4 of them. I need to find stairs, something to do with stairs, and somewhere with both red and blue.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Alright, sure. Right, something to do with stairs.
Coming to a
These
staircase,
stairs?
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Wait, somewhere both red and blue at the same
You're
time.
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of
Yes!
the anarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then.
Yes!
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all.
Yes!
You can't go back to when you had no Figler anarines. None of us can.
We can never go back, but we can have all of them.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He
Crazy?
looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre
Where's the bucket?
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Where's the bucket?
Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
No.
Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
No. Where's the bucket?
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old
Where is it?
friend. It was the only way to truly
Where is
restore
it?
his sanity. And
Where's
then
the bucket?
suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him.
Oh
all
God.
along.
No!
It was incredibly painful.
It's corpse
Stanley
party all
doubled
over
with
again.
agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and went to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh, that last part. Okay, that last part. That last part. Oh my god. That last part is so good. Alright. Stairs. Something to do with stairs and somewhere both red and blue. We already found the place that was... I don't know.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Alright, let's go for the escape ending then. What would be both red and blue at the same time?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What would be both red and blue at the same time then? Still, I gotta wonder. So how can we find them? Yeah, we do need to find all the Stanlerines.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom
I want
closet.
the broom closet
Simply because
ending.
I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
I want the bucket broom closet ending one day. That would be my favorite ending of all time.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Red and blue at the same time. This is only red. What would be blue? Alright, let's see. Settings. Nothing. Enables additional text next to gameplay critical colors. What does that even mean? I want to test that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would.
What was it again?
And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket
I did not mean to
did he
do that
have
one.
any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
It was 2845. I thought it began with...
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, it was over here. Blue and red at the same time. What would that look like?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, mind control facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Blue and red at the same time. Well, like, the menu itself is red, so maybe I need to find a blue room?
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Well, I want to get all the
At
bucket
this point,
endings first.
Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
It's red. It's red. Hey. I'm ready.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley. What will it look like this time?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Well, this room's red. Red and blue at the same time, though.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's
Wait.
true that all buckets are
Where's
radiant
my-
in their own way.
My
but
bucket!
This one stood above the rest. It was
No.
a glorious bucket to behold.
No, where's my bucket? I had it earlier. You're standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched. Substantiated knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. You take as you learn here out you into the world, will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit, which lie and continue living as you were in ignorance and darkness. Darkness!
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket
No,
like this?
give me
and
back
to
my
claim it
bucket.
for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
I want the bucket back! Inferno bucket. In the medieval era, was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control. And in spite of it all, no one can control a bucket. Stress bucket, an analogy. This shit is so deep, man. Presented without commentary. A bucket with two handles. Using too dangerous and recklessly experimental every year doesn't that just for attempting it. There are actual buckets that have two handles, but they're usually square buckets rather than circle buckets. Jesus! That's a lot of buckets! 25 buckets. This does look like more than 25 buckets though, don't it? Right. That's about it for the bucket exhibit. Wow. Well, except for up here. This is really good music. What we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been known for several millennia. Now the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Wow. So deep, man.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
No way I'm gonna be able to grab that. Symbolizes the necessary relationship between a bucket and humanity. However, clear out or grasp the bucket. Maybe it is yet, or then as long as lose the good. Yeah, give me the bucket. Oh wait, I was floating in the air, anyways.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
My bucket. Okay, there we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
The
missed
end
a
is
memo.
never the end, is never the
No
end,
matter
is never
how
the
hard
end, is never
Stanley
the end,
looked,
is never
he
is
couldn't
that.
find a trace of his co-workers.
Wow, it starts to sound like a what do you call it? Oh, what's this? Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Right. I have to check my manager's computer. Next, 248 2847.
Stanley clutched
Come
the
on.
bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's do the turn on the mind control thing. Trust the completionist instinct. Why wouldn't they just tell us something will happen? This investigation, this room, they feel pointless, TBH. Weird spinning figurines. Someone in the cargo room, 4421 building a bridge. Who they want? Oh, data, stock options, money. Alright, employee. Right, magic. Uh-huh. 6 more money if sold together. Ah, I see. Can we sell them? We can sell them all. We forgot what we know and what we don't know yet. Bonus stuff. Right. I guess that the bigger hint is figuring out exactly what qualifies as a room that's both red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley
At
and the
the same
bucket
time.
walked upstairs to the boss's office.
But what's red and blue at the same time? Hold on.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along?
They didn't even-
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. I wouldn't say laziness because there's a shit ton of dialogue anyways. I don't blame them for skipping out on it. Because otherwise, you know, that would be just a bad rap. Yeah. Alright, let's get some other endings with a bucket. I wonder how many bucket jokes the narrator has made.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
If the light is on, call exit 914 immediately. Or EXT 941. Alright, actually, first though, this one. Alright, wee.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really
Wait,
wasn't
this
so
one's
bad
blue,
down here.
red and blue.
Cold, perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending.
Alright, yeah.
This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on.
Alright,
The two
alright.
of them waited for a very long time.
No, I shotgunned him and then like hit every shot with my gun bag.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Alright,
mean?
that was not the
Stanley
room then.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
Actually, wait, let me begin the game again. Is the input on my computer now? No, it isn't.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Where's
Stanley
the- here it
decided
is.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Begin the game again.
Dumb bitch.
All of his co-
Alright, I need to make sure. I want to get the,
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the
Yes.
orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace.
Alright,
Protective,
time to
delicate,
input receive, but with
assertive, yet
buckets this time.
No, the orders were still missing.
Yes, alright, let's see. How different is it with the bucket? Oh, wow. Kitty Horror Show much now? This is like one of the Kitty Horror Show games I played. Holy bucket. What is this? What is this place? It's just saying bucket. I don't like even moving at all. Am I even moving? Is there anything that's moving? Alright. Is anything supposed to be happening? I don't think anything is supposed to happen. This is supposed to be a joke on that front, I guess. Huh.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Alright.
Stanley's bucket. The only co-worker he would ever truly need.
A room that's both red and blue at the same time, though. I guess that we're gonna have to get the, fake ending, or whatever it's called.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, you still need to find the somewhere both red and blue. Somewhere both red and blue. The completionist senses are breaking
Stanley and
me.
the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket...
Alright, let's go for it.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, now let's turn on the thing.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Now that's a speedrunner strat.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently.
Oh man, I was hoping it would be
that
faster.
Everything would be fine.
It's very precise. It looks.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Yeah.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never!
Let's
He
turn it
squeezed
on.
the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Right.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
Oh.
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Ooh.
birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Birds.
And Stanley was happy.
I like birds. Bird up.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh? Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No.
To Stanley or
No,
not to
surely
Stanley? That's the question.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Time for the confusion
This was not the
ending.
correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it
Alright, now.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better
There's
than
no
the
cheesing
meeting
it.
room? Yes, Stanley thought. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
No. Let's see what the variant of the confusion ending is with the bucket.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we
What?
care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh yes, the back to the adventure. This music.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about.
No.
Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No, I'm not giving up me buckets.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No, I want to keep the bucket.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh, come on. Why can't
Now
I?
listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. Other object in this game, can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
No.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting.
No,
Give the fans,
no.
Stanley, give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Ow, my eyes. They hurty.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Almost as magnificent as the bucket, it seems. Alright, what other ending, then, was possible?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
But what's
Stanley
red and
decided
blue
to
at
go
the
to
same
meeting room.
time?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them.
I don't know. Oh! This does not look the same. This does look a little different. Like, it doesn't normally look like this, does it? Oh.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I need to figure out where that last Stanley figurine is. Then. Right? Alright. And pulls up screen of it, right? Inside of a single exhibit, large lots of boxes. Colored doors. Alright, well, let's see.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
I don't know.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Well, actually,
No,
let's start off by
never mind.
getting...
The bucket was wrong.
Let's see, what happens if
Stanley
I
took the
actually
door on his
did
left
destroy the
to go
bucket?
back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
How many variations of every ending will there be?
Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you.
Let's see, let's
very
destroy the
much.
bucket then.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Alright.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
That room did say
It's
no
as classic
buckets
now as it
allowed,
was back
though.
then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that,
So, like,
you're going to have to give something
What
up.
changes if I don't have the
Don't you
bucket
get it,
then? Will
Stanley?
it just be the
We
same?
need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Now, let's see what happens if I destroy the bucket this time.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
It's not doing anything.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket.
I'm trying to give it the
I don't know
bucket.
what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
I'm trying to
Sure, I can
get,
hear
like,
you saying, how does a character with only one personality
Like you can hear, right?
deserve
Like
to
I'm
join
trying.
the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
It doesn't seem like I'm able to even destroy the bucket.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley
on.
Parable
Come
characters
on.
like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting.
I'm
Give the
trying.
fans, Stanley, give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I was trying. Don't blame me. I was fucking trying, gang.
The Bucket Destroyer. My prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
I mean, like, you know... Those are pretty metal jokes, I gotta say.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out.
Can I place it back? I don't know. I just instinctually pick it up every time. I don't know. Some are red and blue though. How about this? Like, the only place that's red and blue at the same
All
time
of his
might be the
co-workers were
room
gone.
that has the
What could it
bucket.
mean?
No,
Stanley
or
decided
not
to
the
go
bucket,
to
like
meeting
the room that has the no
Perhaps he had
bucket
simply missed a
screen.
memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to
Oh
stop
god,
by
the
the
music's
employee
playing
lounge
again.
first, just to admire it.
Alright, yeah, sorry if I
It was
sound...
okay.
Sorry if I sound very tired, by the way. It's just, you
But
know,
eager to
last
get
night
back
was a
to
bit
business,
ridiculous.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What's that catwalk up there?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
Stanley,
all
girl,
this
we'd love to
time.
see it. Yeah,
There's
thanks.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've... Really?
Excuse me.
I
I
was
have to
in the
leave.
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I
Yeah,
want something
thanks,
bad
Riff
to
of
happen
Fravel.
to you?
Yeah, this is actually the Stanley
I don't know
Parable
how to
2.
convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Give me a chance.
Alright. No buckets past this point. Yeah. This is the second game, not the first. It's
Now
pretty
listen
funny.
carefully, this is important.
Oh!
Stanley walked,
Yes!
and there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here, and now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Now, I wonder if that's meant to be a commentary on something, like, maybe it's a commentary on, really pointless collectibles in games. Well, let's begin again, shall we? I can no longer go to heaven. That's a problem. Whoa, whoa! Whoa, that's trippy. That's trippy.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yes.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Ooh.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Yeah. Back to... Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Yay. Those are some very good-looking trees, though, I'll admit. Maybe that's just me, though. Huh. This is new. I swear this was never here before. Huh.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Ooh. Ooh, I can double it.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Yay. Alright. I think this is meant to jab at the collectathon system of pointless
let's do a little
collectibles.
quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
I think I found it in the warehouse. Or not the warehouse, sorry. God damn it, I wish I remembered! So annoying. Well, I took the normal path, so it had to be in the boss's office. Yeah, it was in the boss's office.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, behind the boss's office. It was the third one.
Yum.
You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not
After
good
all,
at memory.
Science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Is it really?
Let's see.
Or am I getting my
what
leg
came next?
pulled?
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
This is not where I found it. The game just bamboozled me. This is not where I found it. Huh? This game's bamboozling.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Sorry. That's just really good. That's just really good. Oh god, Windows Movie Maker. I don't know how many of you guys remember this. God, how many of you guys remember Windows Movie Maker?
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes
Like,
I wouldn't have
that
spent
stuff
on anything else.
is so good. That stuff was so good back in the day. Like, yeah, it's obviously very low tech, but still, you know, that stuff's nostalgic to me. For another reason that it was just really memorable stuff.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh, they lead to the same room. I like blue doors over red doors. You are in the present. Okay, yeah, okay.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Okay. Thanks, game. That is so good.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Okay, that's gonna get tiresome.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone,
Got 13
this
of them.
one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
Right. Okay, please.
And here's
My
where
God.
I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh, no! My God.
Yes, I love that video.
Okay. Okay, I liked that, but still.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, I do like this one. Is this a peach or an apple? Can someone help me out here? Is this a peach or an apple? Because if it's a peach, then, I don't know. Okay. Oh, so sorry if you hear music in the
You
background.
know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Alright. I remember that
This
it was.
our
I
second
don't know.
Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? This is it. The very first
shoot.
one we found
Shoot.
in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
What all came before this was a skip button. That looks like the Half-Life 2 escape sign. Am I going crazy, or is that just a stock asset? Improvements. Uh-huh. Yeah. Like, anyone who's... Like, I'm not sure.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
More memories. Mate, I would love more.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Huh. Back to 427.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember.
F1?
I can remember.
F1? I just pressed F1.
I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy.
Alright.
And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction.
Deep.
But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Here we go. What's new now?
Quite a pleasant amount of bumpscosity we've got today, wouldn't you say? Very enjoyable.
Bumpscosity, right. I never understood the bumpscosity thing. What exactly is bumpscosity supposed to do?
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
I think that bumpscosity is just a joke and is not meant to mean anything. Yeah. F1. Right, what was that F1 that I saw there?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Right, let's see. What does the committee say now that I found them all?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Right, there's no more though.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Where will the epilogue take place? Alright, I don't know where the ending's gonna take place this time. Guess some elevator music is all I need, then. Is there any way then? Cause like I'm not sure exactly where anything else will be.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the
Maybe I
bucket
just need to get an
guiding him?
ending and then, you know, it'll
This is certainly
tell
the
me
most
what it
logical
was all about.
explanation.
I don't know. I have no idea,
Stanley
honestly.
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room
Right,
packed with
speedrun strat.
television
Oh,
screens.
almost
What
fucked up.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Damn it, no. Oh, here we go, here we go. I was meant to jump onto this thing.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst
Oh
into
my
tears.
God.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do
I don't know.
would be
What's
to
the point of
simply
collecting
get
all those
comfortable
figurines
down here.
now?
So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure.
Where's
began
the
to eat
epilogue
at him.
then? And where's that
Soon
pit?
he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to
How do I
see
get the
true
epilogue
ending.
then?
This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True.
I don't know, honestly.
It wasn't an
Maybe I'll
ending.
just have to get
But it's
any
where we
ending
happen
and
to
then,
be.
you know.
And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
Does anyone even
It's
know
what
how to get
bucket
the
was
epilogue?
counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Any help? I need some help on that one, probably. Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna end it off until I eventually find it. Yes. I'm not sure how you access the epilogue yet. Actually, most of the content, now I should think of it, like, I'm probably not even halfway through finding all of the content in the game. Or at least in this ending, or at least this game, whatever you call it. Stanley Parable 2. I'm probably not even halfway there yet. So, you know what? I think the better course of action is that we'll be continuing this next time. But you know, a lot of this, game is just, it's so bizarre. I mean, I really like it, and it's very weird and different. Because, like, you know, I mention this a lot with games, but, you know, games can really... I actually never said it about games before, but I'm just gonna say it now. Like, I do think that, when it comes to games in general, and that games, and what games can do, is that, you know, games have the ability to just simply, well, they can do... Let me try to organize my thoughts here, sorry. But games can really, with the power of the interaction that games have, you can essentially put a player into a world and give them full control over the world. And I think what the Stanley Parable does is that it recognizes the player freedom, if you will. Because it takes that player freedom and kind of uses it against you and turns it into the mechanic of itself. And I think that, you know, it's really just, you know, I don't know how to describe it, it's just so unique. You know? So, yeah, the thing about it, like, obviously a lot of this was just me going through all the normal endings, but this time I had a bucket. Like I'm some kind of Team Fortress character. I assume that in order to get the epilogue, I just need to go through all the normal endings as well. Who knows? But, you know, we'll see then. And, yeah, so yeah, next time I play this game, I'll be, next time we go through this game, I'm going to try to figure out the requirements to unlock the epilogue, which probably means getting every achievement. I don't know. So yeah, that's about it then. Alright, next time then, when I stream, I'm probably not gonna be I'm not gonna be streaming the Stanley Parable next time. In fact, actually, now I should think of it, I won't be able to stream on Monday. There's gonna be a lot of things going on. I'm turning into a weekend streamer at this point. But, next time I stream, it'll probably be, I don't know, something else. It's like, I'm gonna need to, you know, branch out a bit more now. So, till next time, I'm probably gonna have to wrap up Lone Fungus next up. Cause like, yeah, cause like I still have not finished that game, and I really want to finish that game, you know? Cause I'm really intrigued as to what will happen, so I'm probably gonna stream Lone Fungus next. And a bunch of other games, really. So, stay tuned for all of that, so... okay, guess this is it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the road ahead. Bye-bye!